In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I actually resized my images and printed them out. And I've had a couple of people ask questions. Now, it's going to depend on what kind of computer you have, whether it be a Windows or a Apple computer. And I can only really do this with the software that I have available. So if you are using an Apple computer and other software, I might could help you. I do have a Mac, but I typically only use my Windows computer. And I'm going to be using Microsoft Word. And if you don't have Word, possibly we could try to do it a different way. But if this is not your software, just go ahead and leave a post in the Facebook and just let me know you would like help, and tell me what type of computer you have and what software, word processing software you have, and we'll try to see if I can help you with this. But this is going to be for Windows and Microsoft Word. Now what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get a bunch of images, and you could either take images or photos with your phone or your camera, or you could go and search for images on the internet and download those from the internet. Now, when I did mine, I thought it was much easier to just go grab pictures from the internet because the pictures were already there. They were very good quality. They were already a square, and I didn't have to do much to make them look nice. And so also the representation of the colors are more true and accurate, I think. Because when you take a picture with your phone or your camera, you're going to have different lighting, and so you could actually get a picture that is not really necessarily representative of those colors in that paper pad. And if you would like me to do a video on how I download images off the internet, I could do that because it can be a challenge depending on what websites you download from. Okay, so let's see. We're going to go ahead and open up Word, and you can see here I have this folder where I have all my paper pads, and that's what I would recommend. Create a folder on your computer somewhere and put all your images in one place. And then we're going to just go ahead and open up Microsoft Word. And I already have a document, but I'm just going to go through and show you from scratch just so you can understand how this is going to work. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to grab a couple images. And I'll just grab maybe, oops, what happened? Don't y'all hate that when you do something and you're like, oh, I think I clicked on it instead. Okay, so we're going to grab some images, and I'll just grab about maybe that many. I'm going to go ahead and right click, and I'm going to say copy, and that's going to put it into my clipboard. I'm going to go back to Microsoft Word, and I'm going to right click and say paste. And or click on paste. That's going to take all those images and put them into this Microsoft Word document. Now, what you're going to notice is all of these images are coming in all different sizes. Okay, so that's kind of the challenge. So it's what I did was I would go to this image and click it. Then you're going to right click and you're going to click size and position. And you're going to get a size. Now this size is 4.53 inches by 4 inches, so it's not a true square. Now I want a true square. I want it to fill up my whole 5 inch, or I'm using 4 7/8 inches. So I'm going to go down here and click this lock aspect ratio. That's going to allow me to put in numbers and not have it change. Now I'm going to show you here. If I have this lock aspect ratio clicked, if I go up here and try to put in 5 inches, it's automatically going to adjust this number down here. If I try to put 5 inches down here, it's automatically going to adjust the number up there. So what you can do is if you uncheck this lock aspect ratio, you can put in whatever numbers you want and it's not going to change. So I'm going to just put in 4.88 because that's kind of what I found worked really well. I think I made it slightly bigger than 4 7/8 inch. Because that way I'll have a little wiggle room when I go to cut it down with my paper trimmer. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to mention too is if your picture is not close to being a square and you do this and you change the size, it could possibly distort it really bad. So if you have a rectangular picture that's say like 4 inches by 6 inches and you try to make it 4 by 4 or 4.88, whatever the size is. You try to make it a square. It's not going to look good. You should only do this if your picture is close to being a square. Okay, so let's go ahead and click OK. Now, one of the things you'll also notice in this picture is that I have this white border around the sides. So that might not bother you. It bothered me, and so I took one more step when I was doing this. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to show you this real quick. We're going to go over here. I'm going to click on this Happy Halloween. Now, when I use this, I have the Microsoft Photo software that comes with Microsoft Windows. And if you right click and then click Edit, or you just double click, it's going to open up this Photos application that you can use to edit your photos. And this is available, should be available for all Windows users. So you should have it on your computer. If you don't, and some of this doesn't work for you, just leave a post in the Facebook group with a question and I'll try to help you out. So what we're going to do is we want to crop this down. I'm going to click on this crop button right here. And you can see the extra white space that we have all around this photo. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of go and get rid of that white space so that we can make this a square and make the paper pad image fill the whole screen. Now I could save a copy, but then I have more files I have to deal with, and I'm not too concerned with this image because I downloaded it off the internet. So I'm just going to go here and down click this little arrow and click on save, and it's going to save right on top of that file that was there. Okay, now I'm going to go back here. I'm going to copy this file again, and I'll go back to my Word document, and I'm going to delete that file, and then I'm going to paste the other one back in there. Let's see. I use a lot of shortcut keys, and I'm trying not to use shortcut keys because I don't want to confuse anybody. But Control C is copy and Control V is paste. V as in Victor. It's not. I don't know why they didn't use P, but because that would have made more sense. Okay, so here is our image now. If I click on that and then right click, I can click on size and position again. It's still not a true square, so I'm going to click this lock aspect ratio, turn that off, and then we're going to go up here and put in 4.88 and then 4.88 and click OK. And now we have a much better image. This is the image that's going to print out. It's going to be really nice. We don't have any extra white around the edge. Now you don't have to do that. I just like to do that because I like it to look nice. You don't necessarily have to spend the time to do that if you don't want to. Okay, now that we have resized this one image, we can do a shortcut that's going to make it so much easier for you to go through and resize the rest of these photos. So what I'm going to do is you're going to resize. Now whatever you last did in Word, you can actually hit Control Y and it will repeat that same formatting over and over and over. So it's kind of like a shortcut. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go down here to the next picture. I'm going to click on that picture, and I think you might even be able to, can you do it here? No, okay. So, okay, it's just a shortcut. So we're just going to hit Control and the letter Y, and it's going to resize. Now you didn't really notice it too much on that one, but let me do this one because this is a huge image. I'm going to click the image so that it's highlighted, and you can tell it's highlighted because I see this little box that comes up around it. I'm going to click on Control Y, and there it is. It resizes it. So it's much, much easier to do this. Now here's a little image. We're going to click on Control Y and resize, and we're just going to keep doing that for all of the images in here. Okay, and once you finish doing all of them, let's see how many more I have left. There's another one. And another one. Okay. I think that's probably good. Okay. I don't know why I put so many in there. Just wanted to make sure I showed y'all. Okay. So you can understand how it works. All right. So I think we got them all, do we? No, one more. Okay. Let me get it. So Control Y on all those images. Now, one of the things you're going to notice now is that I'm only going to get one. And let me make this bigger because this is kind of hard for probably you to see. Gonna zoom out. Okay. So now that I zoomed out, you can kind of see I just have one per page. And you're probably wondering, why is that happening? Well, it's because the image is too big to fit 2 per page unless we change our margins. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go to the page layout, and we're going to select margins, and I'm going to create custom margins. I'm going to go down here to custom margins, and I like to put 0.3, 0.3, 0.3, 0.3. Okay, whether you can do 0.3 or not, it's going to depend on your printer. If 0.3 doesn't work and it's giving you an error that says you're going to be printing off the page, just use something else like 0.5. There's plenty of space. The reason why I use 0.3 is because when I do this, I have a certain way, because I've been doing it so much, that I can chop off I just know exactly what the measurements are. So you can put 0.5 or whatever you want, just as long as you make it small enough that it's going to fit. I'm going to click OK. And now you're going to see it's going to jump, and I'm going to have 2 images on every single page. And then that's it. So what you're going to do next is you're just going to print this out by going to File and then Print. And just print it on your printer as an 8.5 by 11 paper. And I just used regular printer paper for mine, and just printed it out, and then I just used my paper trimmer and I cut it down into 4 by 7/8 inch by 4 by 7/8 inch squares. So that's how I did that. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and post something out on the Facebook group, and I will try to see what I can do to help you guys out. And have fun. I hope y'all get your reference guide created, because it's awesome. It's so much fun to be able to go and just look through there, flip through there, and find one I want, and just go grab it, and I know exactly where it is. So it's just, I think it's really well worth the time spent creating that reference guide. So that's all I have for this video, and thanks so much, and I'll try to do a couple more. I think I could do one on how to grab images off the internet. I think it's a lot easier than taking pictures with your phone, a lot less editing to get it into a square, and a lot less, sometimes much better pictures. And if there's anything else you want me to do a video on, just let me know, and I'll see what I can do. Okay.